Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in today's video I will be doing my episode review for the latest episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars, which dropped yesterday on Disney+. I just got done watching it and I've got some thoughts on it. And as usual with most of my episode reviews like this one, this is a spoiler-filled review. So if you're not caught up on Clone Wars by this episode or the previous episode as it directly follows last week's episode, don't keep watching or listening if you haven't seen it or if you're not caught up, because I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, all that jazz. So you have been warned. That being said, let's dive right into it. First and foremost, I am really enjoying, now that I think about it, I really like seeing regular civilians who aren't soldiers or Jedi Knights, and they're not clones, they're not battle droids, nobody really involved in the Clone Wars, just ordinary people struggling to get by without any kind of help or effort from anybody at all. Not the Republic, not the government, nobody. Just people trying to live their lives, scraping by with what they can. And it's showing an interesting side of the Star Wars universe that we really haven't seen before. And Ahsoka being right there in the middle of it, I think it's also giving her a lot of incredible perspective as well. So I'm really liking the storyline they're going with so far. She's still with the two sisters. They've scored their first job, or gig as they keep calling it. And, it's an interesting storyline that they've started, and I'm glad that it's continuing. And I like how this episode ended on a pretty big cliffhanger with them presumably becoming prisoners of the Pike Syndicate of all people. I also loved the fact that they returned to an iconic location like Kessel, a planet, an area made iconic thanks to the movie Solo, a Star Wars story from about 2 years ago, which I personally loved every minute of. It was so good. I'm surprised it didn't get more love than it deserved. But anyway, there's a very memorable sequence in that film regarding the planet Kessel and the whole now famous Kessel Run. So I love that they returned to a familiar location that the fans can know and relate to, with pretty cool bad guys as well, like the Pike Syndicate. And now that they're entangled with them and they're really in big trouble, it just goes to show you just what may or may not unfold in the next episode. I still love the fact that Ahsoka is keeping the whole "I'm really a former Jedi Knight" thing under wraps. Even though she uses her powers occasionally whenever she can to help her new friends. I think that was pretty cool how she quietly used a Jedi mind trick on the Pike. But I like how she's really trying to hide it, because she's either really trying to forget that part of her past, or she really doesn't want them to know she was a Jedi for fear of what they may do to her, because the Jedi aren't exactly as popular as they were before the Clone Wars, because a lot of people are probably grateful to them for their protection and for them fighting for their freedom from against the Separatists, but they're probably also might be scorned and looked down upon by certain races or certain people. And who knows how these two sisters feel about Jedi. They haven't really made any comments about it or the Clone War itself in general, so we really don't know where they stand. They seem more focused on looking out for one another and doing what they got to do to survive. But overall, pretty good episode. Like I said, I really enjoy seeing this side of the Star Wars universe where it shows people who aren't really affected, or who are at least indifferent regarding a big galactic conflict, whether it was the Galactic Civil War or the Clone Wars. It just shows ordinary people, in this case two human sisters Ahsoka's thrown in with, trying to get by. And that, I think that makes for some interesting storytelling. And now that they've introduced a great group of villains like the Pike Syndicate, I think the next episode is only going to be even better from here. Like, the story will only go up from here. So I'm looking forward to it. So what did you guys think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you expecting more, expecting less? What do you think is going to happen next week's episode regarding their capture? And now that they are presumably the Pike Syndicate's prisoners, I want to hear your thoughts and your opinions down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome rest of your weekend and stay safe, everybody. Don't forget to wash your hands and stay home. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.